What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Bluff guy. Hey! And we are back with another One Piece reaction. Today we will be reacting to Grandline review. He is going to be telling us about who this traitor is. The title of this video is Oda Already Revealed the Traitor, What You Missed. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on my commentary. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I miss? Let me know down in the comments. Also, follow me on Twitch so you can catch me live. You can engage with me in real time. And if you want to get at me directly, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and join the Discord. That's going to be the best place to get at me because that's usually where I'm the most active. And if you want to be part of a future discussion stream, you must be a member of the Discord. And I have a channel for you guys to send me content like the video we are watching today. So if you want to send me something, you want me to watch something, if you're a content creator and you want me to react to something you do, make sure you're a member of the Discord and send it to my channel. Send it to my submission channel. All of these will be in the description box below, as well as the link to the video we are reacting to today. Anyway, let's get into the reaction. Sorry about that. But anyway, yeah. So, the title of today's video is Oda Already Revealed the Traitor, What You Missed, and this is by Grandline Review. Now, a lot of people are going on about a traitor. You know, it's been something we've been talking about for a while now. I kind of question if there is really a traitor in the midst, right? Or if, you know, at least when it comes to the Seraphim, is it Saturn that's there? Is it really just Saturn? Does Saturn and Kizaru show up on the island and nobody is aware yet? They're just kind of causing chaos before they actually jump into action themselves. You know, I kind of believe that could be the case, but I also am aware that there is possibility of a traitor. And, you know, a lot of people have been talking about Shaka. You know, Shaka is definitely one of the top suspects. I heard the Lilith. You know, I don't know if I think York would be one, but I had a discussion and York was definitely up there. Like maybe her getting turned to stone was part of her plan just to trick the other Vegapunks and the Straw Hats into thinking that, you know, she's not the traitor. But I feel as though York doesn't have a lot of ambition. I think she just, you know, she lives to eat and sleep. So I don't think she would necessarily have the ambition to betray anybody, right? Another key person that I heard that I'm actually kind of being sold more a little bit, right, is Vegapunk. Vegapunk, like the Stella, the main Vegapunk. Now, my question is, why would the Stella Vegapunk do this? It's almost like he's hindering his own, you know, like he's trying to get, the world government's trying to kill him, but he's hindering the Straw Hats from helping him escape so he could survive. But I thought about it. I've been thinking about it. Like, why would Vegapunk do that? Or why would Stella do that? Well, one thing we also seen with the Seraphim when they were going on their rampage was that they were targeting CP0. So maybe Vegapunk is targeting CP0 because they're there to kill him. So that's one clue, right? The fact that these Seraphim are targeting CP0, you know, because CP0 is there to kill them. Is he also trying to get rid of the rest of his Vegapunks? Is that a process as well? Like, what about the Straw Hats? Is he even trying to attack the Straw Hats? I don't know. I don't know Vegapunk's motivation, but where is he? Where is Vegapunk? You know, why after Vegapunk disappeared, that's when the Seraphim start attacking? You know what I mean? Like, you could say Shaka is a traitor, But Shaka has been in that lab, that area, right? Because I think it's two separate rooms as well. He's been in, as far as we seen, he's been in the lab the whole time. You know, and what we know of the Seraphim is you need to give them a direct order in order for them to do something, right? Pythagoras was attacked by him. Matter of fact, they snuck up on Pythagoras. So I don't think it would be him. York, you could make a case that her personality, this nonchalant, lackadaisical attitude is a charade, right? Like, yes, we know her job is to be the one who eats and pees and sleeps for the other Vegapunks, but if she did have some type of ulterior motive, she would be the least suspected, right? My thing is, I just don't think she has that type of character to care about, to have that type of ambition. Then we got Lilith. To me, Lilith is kind of, she's straightforward. She wears her heart on her sleeve. So I don't necessarily think I don't think she would be it, right? Because she seen, I don't think it would be Lilith either. I don't think it would be Lilith. Edison, I don't know. I don't know about Edison. But even then, most of the Vegapunks were in the lab before, they were all together in the lab before these Seraphim started going crazy. So I would think the Seraphim, when they were given the order to attack the Vegapunks and attack CP0, I would think that it might have been given before everybody split up, right? So I kind of think that, but I don't know. It could have been given after the split, like that's likely as well. But I will say though, Stella, him being missing and him disappearing is super sus. It is very sus. So I don't think it's a stretch to say that the Stella is the traitor, indeed. But honestly, I kind of hope there isn't a traitor, because I just don't want to redo that whole traitor storyline that we got from, pretty much the beginning of the post time skip. Not the very beginning, but like early post time skip, like around Dressrosa, all the way up to Wano with Conjuro being revealed to be the traitor. I just don't know if I want another traitor storyline. So I personally kind of like the idea that it's Saturn doing all this. It still makes sense. If somebody like Bluno, transported Saturn onto the island, you know what I mean? Like, I like that one better. I personally like that idea better. But yeah, anyway, let's get into the video.
I think I know who the traitor is. The Straw Hats and the Vegapunks are currently trapped in the lava phase, where Vegapunk satellites are being targeted for kill murder. And now we even know that a Vegapunk is responsible for this. But here is a key piece of information that you may not remember. Back in chapter, the one that was a while ago, Rob Lucci mentioned that Cypher Pole ships had been disappearing around Egghead Island.
That is another thing. That is something I meant to bring it up. Like, it's actually something I thought about after my post chapter discussion stream for chapter 1075. Like, because we was talking about it, right? And then I think after, I was thinking, like, I wonder if those missing ships have something to do with whoever this is. Because I was thinking about, like, whoever this is trying to kill CP0, right? So maybe the attack on the other Vegapunks isn't necessarily like they're trying to kill the other Vegapunks or the Straw Hats. Maybe this whole thing is strictly targeting CP0. Like, maybe this whole Seraphim thing is just targeting CP0 and everything else happening, you know, with S Snake attacking York, maybe it's just all kind of distraction, you know what I mean, to cause this chaos. But the real target is CP0. If that's the case, this could be related to the world government ships that have been going missing, right? Like, I thought about that. I was like, the Seraphim were attacking CP0. Could this be connected with the missing Seraphim or the missing world government ships? I'm glad he brought that up. I'm glad that Grandline brought that up, because it's definitely one of them things I considered.
For 2 months now. So whoever this traitor is, they've been at work for quite a while. And that work is not for the world government, hence why CP0 is still currently being targeted. And in the midst of all of this, Stella has vanished. There is one character who holds the answers to all 3 of these questions. To figure out who the traitor is, we need someone with a motive to kill the satellites, to kill Cypherpole, and to not kill but to make Stella vanish. And again, there is only one character who currently satisfies all of these. And that character is Shaka, the Vegapunk of good.
Oh, so he was going with Shaka. I thought he was going to go with Stella.
Confidant of Dragon, the leader of the satellites, and the man who up until now has been in complete control of this entire situation. I've been going back on Egghead Island chapters because it's such a fascinating and fun arc, and I came across a lot of stuff that makes far too much sense in retrospect. For example, one of the things we've been struggling with in regards to the concept of a traitor is a motive, and I believe that Shaka quite clearly stated his motive in chapter 1071. Our goal is not to fight back, it's to ensure that the Stella escapes. We are the satellites. If we have to sacrifice ourselves, it will be well worth it in service of the Stella's safety. When I first read that, I thought nothing of.
So, man, if Shaka is indeed trying to become the Stella, that does make a lot of sense. If like that's his goal, to be the prime Vegapunk.
Of it, because of course, surely all of the satellites would have a similar view. But this isn't just a one-off situation. Shaka's character is very focused on death and sacrifice, with the other obvious example being Shaka's conversation with Dragon. Being a genius means being able to see even what your own future contains. I suspect my death is imminent, which makes Shaka out to be a pretty incredibly smart man, to be able to see so far ahead into the alleged tragic future. But what if this was less of a genius crystal ball of science and more a statement of plan? Shaka predicted his death because he is planning for it. Also, this video is sponsored by Loot Boy, who we've partnered with to create a special Grandline Review premium pack full of awesome one.
So, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna have to fast forward this because I'm not, they're not paying me. But is Shaka doing this for the Stella, or would Shaka be doing this for himself? Like, is he trying to become the prime Vegapunk, or is he literally trying to save Stella, even if it's at the expense of himself and the other Vegapunks as well? Because it would make sense, because from what we've seen, the Seraphim have been attacking. They attacked 2 Vegapunks. They attacked 2 Vegapunks. They also attacked, or they're targeting CP0, but it's never really been explicitly stated or even implied that they were targeting the Straw Hats, like they were trying to harm the Straw Hats. Like when we seen Boa, or when we seen S Snake and she turned York into stone, and then the Straw Hats and the other Vegapunks jumped off that little bridge. She just looked like she didn't like follow through to continue her assault, or try to target. Even though she did do that blast, right? She did do that blast, but she just kind of like let them leave and let them escape. Like let the Straw Hats, let the other who was it? It was Pythagoras' head, and I think Stella, possibly. I don't remember, or I think it might have been Edison. It was one of them. I can't remember. But yeah, it could be the case.
You'll find new friends and new gaming added to the jackpot.
We're going to fast forward this.
Much more. So do that thing, but for now it's back to you. Me? Shaka predicted his death because he is planning for it, as well as the deaths of each satellite. Because for reasons currently unknown to us, Shaka sees it as necessary for all of the satellites to die in order to ensure the safety of Stella. It's a
Bro, I like that. I like that logic. Because that is that logic makes sense. Ain't he also the logic Vegapunk? Like, he's logical, right? I think that's what his name was. It was Shaka, who's logic. Then you got Lilith, who's anger or evil or whatever. But that's logical. Like, maybe Stella sees something to where it's like the only way to ensure Vegapunk's safety off the island is to get rid of CP0 and to pretty much sacrifice the other Vegapunks, because then that will play into his title of being logic. Maybe they could have all escaped with some backwards logic with, like, it's him being logical, even though it's still like we could have still escaped, you know. To him, it's still the logic of it. It's the fact that it would be easier for Stella to escape if the other Vegapunks sacrificed themselves and we got rid of CP0. So it does make sense. It is a logical conclusion to come to, you know.
philosophy that's also reflected in Sentomaru's orders to the Pacifista. Make sure your creator gets off this island. Just like the Pacifista, I think that Shaka would do anything, absolutely anything, to make sure that Stella escapes, including implementing a, how shall we say, non-consensual sacrifice plan, also known as murder, which I find interesting because Shaka's vision of the future stands in direct contrast to Stella's, who quite specifically asked for 7 spots aboard the Thousand Sunny, 8 if you include Stussy, which gives us almost as many Vegapunkos as we have Straw Hats. But this is where things get real interesting, because what we're going to do is replay the entire scenario, assuming that this is all part of Shaka's plan. For some time now, Shaka has known that the world government will betray Vegapunk, and in order to assist Stella's not death, his life, his living, Shaka has been very sneakily erasing Cypherpole ships that visit the island, basically cutting the world government off from having any information about their operation. Upon the arrival of the Straw Hats, Shaka sees an opportunity that will not come again. He halts Lilith's attack and invites the crew in, formulating Stella's escape plan right then and there. And of course, with this in mind, he then delivers the news to Dragon that he is probably going to die. When confronted by Lilith, Shaka delivers the speech I said earlier in the video about how if the satellites have to sacrifice themselves, then that is the thing it is that needs to be done, alluding to a scenario that only Shaka has had the foresight to envision. It involves killing all 6 satellites, including himself, as well as making Stella vanish, thus making
Bruh, like, like, and I don't know if it's going to exactly play exactly like that, but some type of plan like that, right? Like, the plan could be a little different, just a little different than what he's saying. But if this comes to light, right? If this is like Shaka, you know, all Shaka's foresight stuff, it would really play into his title as the logic Vegapunk. So I'm liking this, and it really doesn't paint Shaka to be bad per se. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though killing the other Vegapunks, you know, is it necessary? You know what I'm saying? Are you doing something that's unnecessary because you think it's logical? You know what I mean? But it still shows that he's doing this in order to save the prime Vegapunk, you know what I mean? And plus, they're not like real. They're not, you know, like, are they real? Are they real? Is it really murder if these are like artificial beings? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna play that because that's like a real philosophical argument you can make. If like the other Vegapunks are real, are they like living? You know what I mean? Are they alive? You know. That's more of a philosophical argument, but yeah.
making sure that there won't be any pursuit of Vegapunk after these events. As a necessary element of this plan, Shaka compromises the Labosphere defenses and invites CP0 inside, the purpose of which would either be to recruit Stussy or have CP0 witness the death of the satellites, as well as the disappearance of Stella, and report back to the world government and have them go, okay, cool, we're not gonna do anything. But also as a bit of a clever ruse to create some chaos. Because by inviting CP0 in, we also have the lab attacked by the Seraphim. And while everyone's attention was dedicated to averting that crisis, in the meantime, this is exactly the moment when Stella disappeared. I don't know how, but this was the perfect opportunity to make someone vanish. It's classic magic, you know, I draw your attention over here and you can't see what I'm doing over there or under the table. You can never see what I'm doing under the table. I will never show you. In fact, I can't believe I even told people that there was a table. But again, I don't know how this happened. Stella could have been captured, he could have been teleported, all sorts of wacky science crap could have happened. The point is, to everyone watching, he's been snapped out of existence. But to Shaka, he's been squirreled away in some form of safety. It is at this point that we discover that the Vegapunks have lost control of the Frontier Dome. We don't know why or how, but we are now officially trapped in the labophase. Plus, as a result of the Seraphim attack, the lab has been badly damaged. And so Shaka sends the other 5 satellites to go.
My thing is, could Shaka be working with somebody? Or, like, could he have some type of assistance, right? Like, is there another Seraphim around that maybe the other Vegapunks aren't aware of, that is doing Shaka's bidding, right? Like, is there like a Shaka Seraphim or a Vegapunk Seraphim that Shaka created in order to keep the main Vegapunk safe? You know what I mean? Kind of like another satellite, but a secret satellite that Shaka created that nobody else knows, and is created to be the protector of the main Vegapunk.
Go inspect, and I suppose repair the damage, specifically to the snail cameras. So it was Shaka's idea to split up the satellites. And not only that, but in the very next panel, he receives a call from Pythagoras, who informs Shaka of exactly where in the lab he is, with Shaka then suggesting that Pythagoras go and check another specific location. And wouldn't you know it, Pythagoras is ambushed in the location where Shaka told him to be.
That is hella sus. Shaka like, hey, I need you to go check out that bathroom over in Wing C. You know the bathroom I'm talking of. All right, yeah. He's coming to the bathroom over in Wing C. You know what I'm saying? Like, if let's say there's something assisting Shaka, you know, like, or he slips out and goes to the other Seraphim and be like, hey, Pythagoras is going to be in Wing C. Go attack him. And the rest of y'all go cause chaos. I don't know.
Now, to be fair, that could be quite circumstantial.
Because you got to think about it. You also got to think about Shaka. As I keep saying that Shaka is in that same laboratory that Luffy and Zoro are in, but they're like in a separate room. Because I think there's like a hallway in between the rooms. Because we seen when Zoro caught out the Luffy like swung in from like through a hallway. Him and Shaka came into that room. So it just kind of shows that they're not in the same exact room, just rooms that are next to each other and connected. So they don't have their eyes on Shaka completely. So he could be slipping out, commanding the Seraphim, slipping back in.
But it is mighty suspicious that Pythagoras got boomed perfectly in the place where Shaka ordered him to be. Now, speaking of, Pythagoras holds a very key clue to our scenario here. However, due to dramatic requirements.
And there's also the fact that Shaka might have like some teleportation technology, kind of like we seen what Vegapunk had. So
he was unable to tell us in the latest chapter. Unfortunate, but let's continue. Shaka then suggests that the Straw Hats split up and assist in the search for Stella, which has now resulted in the individual groups being targeted by the Seraphim, who have in secret been issued a command by a mysterious, perhaps Shaka-shaped Vegapunk. And all the while, Shaka has been quite literally in control. At almost no point has he left the command console. He is both figuratively and literally in command of the situation. In fact, even the other Vegapunks obey his orders. He has the ability, the motive, and the drive to have constructed this egghead death game, designed to implement a plan of escape that
I'm just curious how if he didn't leave that control room, how is he giving orders to the Seraphim? You know, how's he giving orders to him? I don't, unless he gave him like orders beforehand, and they're just going off of pre-existing orders.
we currently can't quite comprehend the full scope of. I think that Shaka is by far the most suspicious Vegapunk at this point, although this idea does have some holes. One of which is that Shaka got genuinely confused by the cameras being taken out one by one. And as much as this gives him the appearance of innocence, it far from exonerates him, because we could be in a scenario where two different parties are acting at once. A good example is Caribou doing all sorts of weird crap on the island for the sake of...
Yeah, Caribou. We're forgetting about Caribou. He is on the island. What is Caribou doing? Where is he at? Why we didn't see him when all the Straw Hats and Vegapunks were together in the same room. We didn't see Caribou. What is Caribou doing? He couldn't have just got off the island. If anything, I think he's trapped up there in the Labostratum with him. I'm just saying, where's Caribou? Where's Caribou?
being a prick. But there is also the issue of physical impossibility. Before I said that Shaka had been basically glued to the command console, and that's true, and well, that's an issue because he can't both do the commanding and explode the Pythagoras. He would need agents of some kind working on his behalf, perhaps clones, perhaps robots, perhaps robot clones, I don't know. And I should say that he was technically attacked by S-Bear and S-Hawk, which seems counterproductive to enacting one's plan. However, if all of the satellites dying is part of the plan, then actually Shaka being attacked is all according to Keikaku. But at this point, I can't see it being the other Vegapunks. I mean, the second most suspicious character is probably Edison, because he was the most recent Vegapunk to take command of the Seraphim, so in theory his orders shouldn't be able to be overridden. However, I assume that Edison himself would be fully capable of changing those orders. I don't think the command priority works by singular order, I think it works by person. And that might explain why he was so eager to volunteer and go outside to stop the Seraphim, to make sure that he was the first one to get a command in, which would ultimately give him priority to enact all sorts of weird traitorous crap. And I suppose the defense for this would be that Edison was almost blown up by S-Shark and had to be saved by Sanji, but at this point the Seraphim were following the orders of CP0, not the Traitor. So in this situation, the Traitor could have very easily been a target, which I guess includes Lilith as well. But other than Edison,
I mean, who's to say that Shaka, that there's not two traitors? That Shaka and Edison aren't working in conjunction? You know? And again, just because they're traitors, that don't mean they're working against Vegapunk. They're just working against the other Vegapunks in the world government in general. But
I really don't know if I can see anyone else having done it, at least not on their own. And actually, just on that, something we haven't considered too much is the idea of multiple traitors. The aspects of Vegapunk are divided in many fun and unique ways.
I just said it, and he just brought it up. I'm glad he brought that up, because I'm thinking, like, if like Vegapunk, or if Shaka and Edison are working together, you know, Shaka's calling the shots. Edison is, you know, he's working in the field.
There's a lot of logic versus desire, good versus evil, male and female, or even masked robots and unmasked humanoids. But another quality that splits them right down the middle is values. Half of the Vegapunks hold traditionally good values, whilst the other half have traditionally bad values. To illustrate, we have Shaka the good, Edison the thinker, and Pythagoras the wise. All very sought after qualities in humanity, we greatly encourage the pursuit of all three of these things. Then on the other end of the spectrum, we have Lilith the evil, Atlas the violent, and York the greedy. Three values that society actively disparages because these are not good things to be. But is it weird that I think the bad qualities are by far the least suspicious? Like, we've got evil, violence, and greed, but I find myself believing in those three the most. And maybe it's because each of them are completely emotionally transparent. Their qualities might be undesirable, but at the very least, I always know what Lilith...
Yeah, I agree with that. To me, Lilith has always been like a very straightforward individual. She's always like, if she don't like you, she's going to tell you she don't like you. She wants to kill you, she's going to tell you she want to kill you. If she, whatever she's thinking, it seems like she's the type that's going to, she's, you know, she's more of the the one who is like, I'm trying to look for the word, but it just seems like Lilith is straightforward. Like, you know what you're getting with Lilith. Same with Atlas. Atlas is what? Atlas seems like she's pretty pure hearted, you know. And then York just seems like she wants to eat and sleep. Like, York doesn't seem like she has much ambition to do anything other than, you know, what she does. She seemed like she just living life and enjoying it, right? But Shaka, Shaka a little sus. Edison, plus Edison is based off Thomas Edison. We know, you know, Thomas Edison don't got like the greatest of reputation of being an honorable person, you know. Can't really say much about Pythagoras. Pythagoras doesn't seem like Pythagoras hasn't given me any like clue that he could be sus or anything.
Lilith, Atlas, and York are feeling. All three of them are kind of Luffy-like in that way. All of the thinking takes place on the outsides, public thinking. Meanwhile, you've got your more introverted set of Vegapunks who I have a ton of difficulty reading. There's minimal facial expressions and in fact minimal face in general. These dudes might be chock full of all of the good stuff we like, but damn, they're suspicious as crap. And they're the three that I see as being most capable of this kind of complex planning. Lilith, Atlas, and York, I honestly don't think that they plan. I think they just do. So we could be in a bit of a 3v3 situation, where half the Vegapunks are working with us and half the Vegapunks are working against us. But also, it could be none of them. Because more so than ever, I think we should be taking a hard look at Stella. That was an unintentional rhyme. The cover story pages give Stella some interesting and, dare I say, utterly deranged and weird facial expressions. Stuff that presents him as the sort of quintessential mad scientist. You know, the guy who has a genuinely decent goal but goes about it in a very wrong and twisted way. Like another Big Mom style dream of uniting all of the races but doing it in a super...
Yeah. I like after the discussion, after the post chapter 1075 discussion we had, it really, like, you know, like we was arguing, somebody brought up Stella being the traitor, and it really been having me thinking, like, could Stella really, like, my question, my like pushback on that is, I believe that it would be working against Stella to be doing all this. Unless Stella has some type of method to his madness. Like he's trying to yes, get off the island, but yet he's trying to do like some big test. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to do some big tests to see something before he gets off. You know, maybe that's the case. You know, maybe he's trying to test the Straw Hats. Maybe he wants to see Gear 5th. Like, maybe he wants to see more of Gear 5th. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to push Luffy into going to Gear 5th. Like, that could be the case as well. You know, maybe the ship disappearances that have been happening have been Stella, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know, but Stella does seem sus. Like, where is he? His disappearance, him disappearing right before all this happening, it's sus. It's suspect to me. You know what I'm saying?
A dark way, by which I mean uniting them all in her stomach because she ate them all. It's also fascinating that Vegapunk looks so delighted to be meeting the Five Elder Stars.
Yeah.
However, to be fair, this was before the Ohara incident, so he may not have known the full extent of what they're capable of just yet. But I keep going back to the question that Jinbei asked in chapter 1067. The whole, is it really a good idea for the entire world to have your knowledge? And Stella just replying, well, Jinbei, first son of the sea, that's a very smart question to be asking. But science will never advance if you spend all of your time worrying about it. And you know, we really have yet to explore the negative effects of Vegapunk's work, of which there have been many, but we also have yet to explore the alleged evil that resides within him, because apparently it's there. That's why he has a whole satellite dedicated to it. If it wasn't evil, then she would be called Lilith, Vegapunk of mild mischief. But Stella also has the ability to pull all of this off. The dude can turn invisible, and he can travel across the lab in mere seconds, according to Frankie, which is something I'd actually forgotten about. I thought it was just invisibility, but it's not not just that, it's more things. He can be anywhere at any time at any opacity, and it's all in the service of his dream of the ideal scientific world. So as much as Shaka is still currently my number one suspicion, I don't think that we should let Stella off just yet. There's still a lot more of Egghead Island left to play out, with a plethora of secrets left to uncover. But for now, please do let me know who you believe the traitor is in the comments.
I wouldn't be shocked though. I wouldn't be shocked. Oh yeah, and y'all make sure y'all go like Grandline Review. I'm gonna give him a like. But y'all make sure y'all go show Grandline Review some love. I wouldn't be surprised if Stella and Shaka are working together. Like Shaka is like they're in on it together. Like Vegapunk is out there giving the orders while Shaka is kind of playing at a bird's eye view. He's able to kind of see what's going on and maybe relay messages to Vegapunk saying, okay, such and such is over here, this and that. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they're working together. You know what I'm saying? But I do think Shaka is suspicious. And Vegapunk, people have been making a case for Vegapunk that have been kind of getting to me. You know, it have been kind of convincing me a bit that maybe Vegapunk isn't this saint. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he does have a little... And you gotta look at the science, right? Scientists aren't necessarily good or bad. Like they do stuff that could be good, and then they do stuff that could be bad, right? Like a lot of the stuff that they create could be good and bad, just depending on who has it, right? Like you got some type of weapon, you got some type of inventions that could be used as weapons, could be used as good. Think of the internet, for example. The internet has been used for a lot of good, but a lot of bad. You know, people use the internet for bad as well, right? So with scientists, you know, like they create these things and they don't think about, kind of like with Jinbei when he asked Vegapunk and Vegapunk's answer, they don't think about the bad that their stuff does. You know, matter of fact, when they create stuff, they're not thinking about, hey, how what I'm doing could be a negative to the world. It's just, no, I'm trying to push the envelope. I'm trying to create something great. It doesn't matter if it's good. It doesn't matter if it's bad. So with that in mind, Vegapunk, I don't think Vegapunk really live off of what's morally right and what's morally wrong. He's a scientist. He just does things to create things and push technology, whether it hurts people, whether it doesn't. I don't per se think Vegapunk cares. I don't think Vegapunk cares. I think he just wants to do what he does. And that could also be what's going on now. Maybe what's going on now is an experiment that Vegapunk is doing. And I don't know what his goal would be if this is indeed Stella. I don't know what his goal would be, but whatever it is, maybe he's entertaining himself with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, I might die, but I want to see how this plays out. You know, I know the Straw Hats are trying to get me off this island, but I'm trying to see how this experiment plays out. And I'm gonna continue. And then if all goes well, we'll it is what it is. Think of it like this. Think of this scene, right? We all know that the satellites, they kind of play off of Vegapunk's personalities, like a part of Vegapunk's personality. One thing we seen from this chapter was we seen Stella, Edison, we seen Lilith, Edison, and Pythagoras. They were all using S-Shark, the Jinbei Seraphim, to fight the Straw Hats in order to collect data. Now, the Straw Hats were there to come. They wanted the Straw Hats to help get Stella off the island, and they were treating the Straw Hats as allies, but yet they were sitting here experimenting. They were sitting here collecting data using the Jinbei Seraphim to attack the Straw Hats. The same people that are there to help y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like the Vegapunks in general are above, you know, testing, like doing experiments in situations that they should, in situations that might be more dire. You know what I mean? So this is a dire situation, now that we know the world government and the CP0 coming to the island trying to kill off all the Vegapunks. But maybe Stella just doesn't care because he sees this as an opportunity to do an experiment. Maybe that's how he is. If he sees an opportunity for a good experiment, he's going to take it even if it's at his own expense. And this might be that same case. I don't know if I think that Shaka or Edis or Stella or whoever this traitor is, I don't know if they're doing it because they're bad and they're trying to go against Stella and the Straw Hats, or if they're doing this more for out of research reasons. You know what I'm saying? That's what this situation could be. It could be an opportunity for research, at either from Shaka, Stella, Edison, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that is pretty much the video I got today, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also comment down below your thoughts on the video we just watched. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I miss? Let me know down in the comments. Also, follow me on Twitch so you can catch me live and you can engage with me in real time. And if you wanna engage with me directly, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and join the Discord. The Discord is going to be the best place to engage with or get at me directly. It's also the best place if you want to send me content to react to. I have a submission submission channel there for you guys to submit videos and other content, be it like Reddit theories, whatever. And if you want to be part of a future discussion stream, make sure you are a member of the Discord. All of these will be in the description box down below, as well as the link to the video that we just watched, so you guys could go show Grandline Review some love. Anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Blunt God. I'm out of here. Peace.